Okay, so here's the chip, and if you see, this is the end that actually powers on the device right there. And I've just disconnected these 3 screws right here and pulled that off. A normal person would also pull off that ribbon, but I suck at this stuff, so I just want to try and mess up as little as possible. But I'm going to be soldering. I've already connected it, but I waited to finish to get you guys on here. But I'm going to be soldering this resistor in, and then also going to remove this fuse and install this small jumper cable, so that again, the resistor that this resistor right here is to help the remote start charging, because this remote wouldn't charge with the little copper wire with the blue tip, and so I removed that. I'll put this in, and then the fuse, removing the fuse and installing the jumper wire is supposedly gonna allow the remote to power up. So yeah, I'll let you know. So again, I'm a very amateur YouTuber and amateur solderer, but I'm just going to heat the back of this up, and that will allow me to pull this wire through here, and then I can cinch it off a little nice and neat so it's not hanging in there like it was. So this is kind of as neat as I can make it. Again, this is like a normal person familiar with soldering would probably really hate this, but again, I'm just trying to alleviate a broken remote here. So got this down, and then I'll cinch off those ends right there and add a little solder to it. And now I'm gonna remove the fuse. Okay, so I'm trying to remove this fuse. I kind of punched out the bottom of it. And now I'm gonna snip this part of it. And now I'm gonna attach solder on a little jumper wire. Okay, I'm gonna put this little jumper wire right there, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so because I am gonna try and attach this to something and not run it through, I probably should run it through, but I really don't know what I'm doing super well, so I decided to just tin it and try and connect it to the stubs that are already on there and see if it works. So we'll try that first, and then I'll deal with trying to drill through this little copper spot from the fuse. Okay, so that worked. Just by tinning the ends right there, it kind of grabbed. I was able to kind of solder it down to grab onto that. Again, this is like my 3rd time soldering ever, so don't judge me. Brian, I know you're out there. I'm super embarrassed of the advice you gave me. Okay, after replacing that piece, did not repair my problem. I realized that my power button wasn't even turning on, and as you can see, it's pretty rusted. Went through and I shined it up and cleaned it underneath. That seems to be doing the trick to get it to power on. And so I'm going to reattach, and I hope this works. Okay, some good news here. I have replaced the battery in this remote that allowed it to power up. I replaced the thermistor with a resistor to allow the battery in the remote to actually charge up, and then remove the fuse to allow it to actually power up when I hit the power button. Then I had to clean out the power button, which was rusted over because it wasn't actually reaching anything. So clean that out, and that's all working. I just plugged it into the motor and tried to spin it with the trigger, and it looks like the trigger is not working. So that'll be my next step.